What's up, people? We have great news here for all you Sickness fans. It actually sounds worse than I wanted it to sound. Fans of the visual novel Sickness, of course, because Tuesday there was an update released which unlocked this extra content, which is basically just an extra route that follows the perspective or the story through the perspective of Misa and some other parts of it as well. So let's just read what it actually has to say. You've unlocked an extra route in which you can play through Sickness from the perspective of Misa. This extra covers several events from the main game as well as new events for which Suoh is not present or has no knowledge of. This extra is also more lighthearted than the main game and focuses more on the personal growth of Misa and relationships more so than her job. To play this extra, start a new game. Alright, so basically it's just we're playing as Misa in this one, and you know it's getting to know Misa more rather than just the part that we got to know about Misa was more about her, how she always acted as a professional at her work while working for Karasu, and also how she sort of changed, and we got a sort of a more, I guess, softer side of her that we gotten to know when she sort of fell in love with Suoh, you know? But we never really knew much about Misa, the individual, Misa herself as a person. So I feel like this extra route is really going to tell the story of that, the story of Misa. So I'm really looking forward to that. There's god dang, it's so many games to play at the moment. I didn't expect this extra content to be popping up so quickly, but I know a lot of you guys enjoyed Sickness, and I myself did as well. So I'm looking forward to playing this. We're just gonna play, we're gonna pick Misa right here, and we're gonna rumble tonight. Like every other night this week, I've been chasing ghosts, two phantoms of the night, malevolent spirits devoted to hunting the most dangerous game. They're mysterious, elusive beings, never seen, never heard, identified only by the markings they leave on their prey. Supernatural beings capable of walking through walls, breaking into the most secure buildings, and taking the lives of innocent people without effort. Or so the media would have us believe. In truth, these two are mere flesh and blood, just like the rest of us. They have no powers, they cannot walk through walls, and they most assuredly can be killed, as have I just proven. These two were simply thrill seekers, opportunistic killers high on adrenaline. They would casually walk down the street, look for victims, then discreetly follow anyone who looked promising. This pattern would be repeated over and over, until the two had an array of potential targets, and as the veil of night fell, the first would soon be claimed. The victims of the night would be selected by ease, location, and whim. Some would die, others would be spared, and none would be any wiser. Hardly what I'd call supernatural. These two murderers did well, I'll give them that, but there's nothing special about being able to pick the targets least likely to fight back. If you want to be a true professional, as my father taught me to be, then stalking innocent, unsuspecting people doesn't cut it. It doesn't matter how many victims you rack up, nor does it matter how quickly you can kill someone in their sleep. Such easy kills don't even count. Rather, a true professional must be able to adapt to the situation at hand. They must take out their prey quickly, discreetly, and without fail. A professional kills anyone whose death they are tasked with, not just victims of opportunity. They take out felons as dangerous as they are, not just sleeping students. So, as a professional killer myself, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's seeing wannabes get a kick out of killing innocent people. True, my criticism may be hypocritical. After all, I've killed my fair share of innocent people, as have my father. But what I do because I must, not because I enjoy it. That's true. That's the side of Misa that we've never really felt, right? The thing that we think about her, like she was at one point like even scared of Suoh because she had the feeling that Suoh was actually enjoying all this killing, you know, in the same way that Sai is. Whereas Misa just kind of, I don't know, we don't know why she's doing it out of a necessity, why she feels she has to do it out of a necessity, like she has to do it. but it's clear that she doesn't really enjoy doing it. My father didn't become a killer by choice, nor did I. We wouldn't live such a life if not for necessity. So when I think about the people out there who would take the lives of others not for food, not for shelter, not even for money, but merely for the thrill of it. Yeah, go play a fucking video game. My job becomes much easier. The Misa Extra. Eight days later. Friday night, September the 9th. As will be the case every Friday night for the foreseeable future, tonight I am duty bound to spend my time here, deep underground in a dimly lit conference room. In this room, every Friday and Sunday night, I meet with my peers, my father's subordinates. We all discuss our targets, get assigned work, arrange for one another to take over problematic prey, and generally just kill time until the hunt begins anew. It's a largely unnecessary process, and personally, I'd wish we'd simply correspond digitally instead. These meetings never cover anything terribly interesting, and it's certainly nothing that couldn't be typed. Truthfully, I'm here purely because I have nothing better to do. And you couldn't make that work to your advantage? Hey, it's not as easy as it sounds. You gotta take it slow, you know. Ladies don't like it if you come on too strong. You've gotta take control of the moment, force them to go at your pace. And when the timing's right, that's when you... Perhaps I should skip out on these meetings after all. At least then I'd be spared from discussions like this. I never have any input in the decision making anyway, so I could certainly ask my father to bring back whatever work is assigned to me. That way, I wouldn't have to put up with these people, not to mention the time I'd save from travel. The only problem is, if I weren't here, where else would I be? So you got him alone, in a private room, and yet it took you 4 hours to finish the deed? Not at all. It took me 10 minutes to make him mine, 20 to get him to take me to his hotel room, and then, well, I'm sure you'll be having discussion with Misa any year now, so I might as well give you the details. Even if you aren't the best person for the job, I can at least prepare you for the essential years your daughter has ahead of her. Ugh, how disgusting. Every word out of that woman's mouth makes me want to vomit. Isn't she glad? She must have been so happy when she finally killed Violet. Spoiler alert, obviously. Once again, I said it afterwards. It doesn't really help saying the spoiler alert after you've already given away the spoiler, but it's like, oh shit, I just remembered what I said is actually a spoiler, so I just blurred out spoiler alert, but obviously it's way too fucking late already. It's one thing if she wants to treat her own body like the worthless slab of meat it is, but if she thinks for 1 second that I'm going to be anything like her, forget it. Even if this job lumps me together with filthy whores like Violet, dang, I'm under no illusion as to how much better my life is as a result. Like, we're actually getting, these are the thoughts that Misa has, right? She obviously didn't say much. She actually only spoke once at the very end when she was like, Suoh, you know, when he was almost dying. Or was it twice? Was it when he was dying and when he came back alive? Or only in one? I don't exactly remember. It's been quite a while for me, as well as many other visual novels that I played. You know, everything starts to jumble up at a certain point. But yeah, she talked definitely only once, if not twice. But getting to know her thoughts and actually how she thinks about Violet is kind of funny and interesting as well, you know, because we've always just thought of her as like, she's a killing machine with a soft side, and that's just the parts that we've seen. Like, we thought that, but we never got to know Misa's exact thoughts because she's unable, or at least she doesn't express them with words. So it's really, really awesome to, you know, actually experience not only this story, but get to know more about Misa. I know well how many people envy those with jobs, especially lucrative, straightforward jobs like mine. There are many out there who would love to be making thousands of dollars a week at 17 years of age, not to mention the complete lack of responsibility. Nevertheless, for all of the perks this job has, solidarity is not one of them. You hit them with a what? Come on, Sai, pay attention. I know you aren't into cars, but this is pretty basic stuff. So like I was saying, how about whack the guy over the back of his head with a carburetor? What the fuck is that? I don't know shit about cars either. I'm on your side, Sai. And the son of a bitch stood right back up. You should have seen this guy. I mean, I'm tough, but if you hit me like I hit him, I'd be out like a light. Yes, no matter how much time I spend here, I just can't relate to these people. My father and I aside, the only people in this room right now are a playboy, a whore, and a muscle-bound idiot. And, for heaven's sake, tell me you have good news. Of course, just who do you think I am? An overconfident creep. I don't care how good he is at his job. If there's one person I loathe more than Violet, it's this man right here. At least the others recognize and take responsibility for their own shortcomings. When it comes to Leon, everything he does is perfect, and in his mind, he can do no wrong, and that makes so much more sense why he decided to like, fuck no, Karasu, I'm not working for you, I can do it much better. I'd love to take him down a peg, if it didn't mean spending more time with him than necessity already dictates. Well, I guess that's it then. Meetings do feel shorter with fewer people here. Despite the fact that I loathe my comrades, my feelings about being here aren't so simple. I do hate them. I wish the worst upon them all. In all honesty, there's nothing I would love more than to slice them into pieces. For some reason, within those words, I read pizza. I'm probably just freaking hungry. And yet, despite feeling that way, I actually come here for the company. Aw, she's lonely. Even if I hate them, even if it's less than 1 hour per week total, this is the closest thing I ever get to social interaction. Outside of work, my father and his boss are the only people I ever see, and even then, we don't meet that often. All in all, I spend more time with my victims than my own family. So as pathetic and messed up as it sounds, I'm just happy not to be alone. I love short meetings as much as the next person, but are we just going to start recruiting again soon? The way work keeps flowing in, we could certainly use the help. Oi oi, don't give him any ideas. We still haven't housebroken the last additions to the team. There are times when I wonder what life would be like if I went to school, like a normal person my age. So, like, I'm really thinking, like, why is she forced into this? And Sai as well, right? Misa said that not only Sai but herself, both of them basically not forced, but it's a necessity for them to do this job. But I feel like Sai almost feels a little bit bad for Misa because of that, and part of him making it up for Misa's unusual life as a teenager, you know, I feel like he tried to put some sense of normalness into her life, normality, by, you know, almost forcing Suoh to just hang out with Misa, just you know, for them to be two teenagers or two people of their own age, just, you know, hanging out with each other. Because Misa, you can definitely see here, Misa's lonely, she needs company due to this fucked up lifestyle that she's leading, right? And she probably just feels like, I don't know, not that she's tainted or anything, but it's just like, you know, you want at least some sense of normality in her life. And, you know, Misa and Suoh, I think Sai must know that Misa doesn't like all the others, whereas she probably at the beginning, Misa at least tolerated Suoh, which is why I think Sai approached Suoh about this rather than any of the others. Or maybe he approached the others too and they just flat out said no. Rather than spending my nights slaughtering strangers or meeting with criminals, I would be surrounded by people my own age, engaging in ordinary, everyday activities. With 8 hours a day being spent as such, I don't think I could ever feel lonely. At the very least, I wouldn't resort to keeping present company. Who knows? Things might actually go well for me. She really wants to just, partly lead a normal life, partly just be a normal teenager, and just, which me also means going to school, right? Which it seems like she has never done before. I could spend my time among friends, wishing for popularity and thinking about boys, or whatever other farcical things normal girls my age crave. Would I have many friends? Maybe I'd play sport, or join a club. How would my grades be? Would I have fun? Would I have a best friend? Perhaps I'd be the teacher's pet, or the class clown. Okay, no offense, but I don't think you'd be the class clown, Misa. Actually, we have feelers out right now for potential new recruits. I can't say I have much faith in the people doing the scouting, but there is one boy I have my eye on. I wonder who it is. Unfortunately, those are all questions to which I'll never know the answer. Whether I like it or not, that change is long gone. I'm too old now, and I know I could never catch up. A predominantly self-taught teenager can't join a random high school class and expect to keep up. It will be impossible for me to cover the entire syllabus, let alone absorb the required knowledge from previous grades. But even with school out of the question, at the very least, I want to be with people my own age. I want to see what kind of lives they live, what kinds of things they do in their free time. I want to know about all their everyday experiences, about the life I could have had. I want to live vicariously through them and convince myself that I'm better off the way I am now. That's true because she hasn't experienced anything else, right? So that's why I feel like she craves for it. If she got to experience high school life and she thought it sucked, it's like at least she knows for herself, she confirmed for herself, like, alright, the life that I lead now isn't that bad, But because she has nothing to compare it with, she craves for the things that normal teenagers do otherwise because she's never experienced them. If I could do that, then maybe for once, as I recall, he's around Misa's age. Huh? I don't know what to expect, given that he was scouted by that idiot Marcus, but right now, he's the most prominent candidate. The only other potential recruits are out of the way, and it would take at least a few weeks for most of them to get here, let alone for them to be tested. Wait. Who's my age? What did I miss? Another brat? Give me a break. The last thing we need is another high school dropout joining us. Oh, relax. Sai is actually just looking for a playmate for Misa. Ha! That must be it. Either that, or a boyfriend. Ho, could be. After all, with that baby face and flat chest of hers, there's no way that she'd... Enough! One more word out of either of you, and I will literally cut your tongues out. Understood? Oh, yeah, you tell him, Sai. Chop off her boobs. And then give him to Misa. Oh god, that would be so weird. This scene again. I appreciate my father's concern, but in this case, I must thank Leon and Violet for catching me up. It seems a high school dropout, a boy around my age, will soon be joining us. Still, interesting though it may be, that isn't necessarily good news. People my age don't tend to enter this line of work, so there's surely a reason behind it. Is the boy a psychopathic killer? A hopeless case who murdered his own parents? Maybe he's in a similar situation to mine, forced into this shady business by familial circumstances. Whatever the case may be, this is sure to be interesting. So it happened again, huh? I forgot how to do Karasu's voice, goddammit. Really now, I tried to be a loving father, but watching my children haze one another like that is just... After the meeting ended, my father and I returned to Karasu's office for the usual post-meeting briefing. Since Karasu rarely attends meetings himself, he relies on my father to inform him of anything important that was discussed or that he observed. As is often the case, however, tonight the briefing is merely a pretext for the two to chat about trivial matters. It will be easier if you stop thinking of my subordinates as your children, especially when it comes to their discipline. I meant what I said. One more word and I'll rip Leon's tongue out of his throat with my bare hands. I sighed internally at my father's words. He's very protective. Once more, as much as I appreciate the sentiment, I feel a little conflicted by this. I appreciate having a father who cares about me and wants to protect me. I really do. But when will he realize that I can take care of myself? Now, I'm sure it'll make you feel better, but this isn't really your decision. This is Misa's fight, and you know how she abhors violence. On the other hand, at least my father doesn't pretend to know what I'm thinking. While I don't particularly hate Karasu, I do wish that he wouldn't presume to know how I feel. True, I don't like unnecessary violence, especially random crimes with no motivation beyond the reward of adrenaline. But my feelings towards the act are not as simple as Karasu makes them out to be. My father knows better. He knows how much I loathe my comrades, especially Violet and Leon. He knows I'd love nothing more than to cut them down. And if it weren't for our boss, Karasu, and the disturbing, borderline delusional relationships Karasu believes he has fostered, I would have done so long ago. Misa's actually kinda scary. As our Friday night meeting came to an end, I found myself feeling strangely depressed. Like usual, I had been waiting all week for that single event, yearning for a mere half an hour of social interaction. However, as was the case with every meeting, I took no part in the discussions, nor did the gathering live up to my expectations. Even so, it was not the nature of the meeting that depressed me. If anything, the mention of a new recruit made it fairly interesting, at least compared to most other meetings. Rather, as pathetic as it may sound, what depressed me was the fact that our time together was already over, and that tomorrow I would no doubt spend the entire time in complete isolation. I can only begin to imagine how sad and lonely my life must appear to regular people. Every week I would meet with my father's subordinates, bide my time while they talk, then disappear. Sunday night is the same procedure, except I pick up a few new extra targets. In the week ahead, I go out, kill a couple of random people, and then... nothing. Absolutely nothing. After the meeting had ended, I returned to the hotel room in which I had been staying recently. I don't believe she's doing nothing, you know? She's gotta be doing something, watching TV even, no? Doing push-ups, training, some sort of thing. I didn't have the energy or motivation to do anything, however, so I just fell face first onto my bed and stayed there, unmoving. She's not even sleeping? Outside of work, I either study or laze around, and that's it. I have a few games on my phone, despite my father telling me to only use it for work purposes, but I've played every one of them to death. She can download more, there's tons of freaking games. What's more, my money is locked away in an account only my father has access to. Or so I'm told, so I can't buy any video game consoles, or books, or anything else. What? Come on, Sai, you gotta at least give her something like that to entertain herself with. As a result, I have no hobbies, no money, limited internet access, and nothing to do with myself. So as pathetic and loathsome as it makes me feel, meeting with my coworkers is actually the most exciting part of my week. That's so sad. Listening to my father deal with his incompetent subordinates, watching Violet squirm as he chastises her, smirking to myself as Karasu playfully harasses my father. For a person with no life, these are the events that break up the mundane. Unfortunately, even with the occasional moment of joy that our meetings provide, in my eyes, they serve little purpose. A few moments of amusement are not the same as fulfillment. Hearing my father berate people is not the same as living or eating together. This is no life for a person my age, or anyone else for that matter. I closed my eyes and breathed a heavy sigh. If this is what life is, or my life is going to be, just night after night of death and solitude, then what value does my life even hold? Well, oh my god. I'm really finding this interesting, but I'm already kind of depressed. Already! It's only the first fucking video and I'm already depressed. God dang it, Misa. Like, we sort of had a sense that she was leading a not unfulfilled life, but like, you know, like a bare minimum life. She didn't have, like, we knew for sure she'd never gone to school, or at least didn't go to school at the current moment, you know, during the time that she was working for Karasu, and she's been working for Karasu for quite a while already. So we knew that, but obviously we didn't know the dirty details, and there honestly aren't any dirty details. It's just boring, nothingness, not even details. It's just, dang, I feel bad for Misa, really. But I'm really interested into why, like, what is the exact reason why they are forced into this? Is it just solely for money? Or I feel like there's gotta be more of a motivation. Not necessarily motivation, maybe Karasu in some way, like, saved Sai or something, and Sai just has to repay that debt by working for him all the time. Like, there's gotta be something along those lines that makes Sai want to or have to do this job, because it's not necessarily a want. Misa for sure doesn't want to, but she feels that she needs to, so there has to be some sort of freaking motivation behind it. But I'm pretty sure we'll eventually find out about that. But yeah, I'm gonna end this particular video now because there's lots of stuff going on right now and I gotta be busy too, so I'll try and upload videos of this as frequent as I can, but I can't promise that it's going to be a daily upload. But one thing that I do know for sure is that this, what I read at least from the update post, is that this is about 1/3 of the length of like a normal route. So expect at least, I don't know, how much was it? I guess like 8 videos of this, if I think correctly, at how long a route lasted or something like that. So I think 6 to 8 videos or something should be enough to finish this series, or maybe 10 even, you know. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you are looking forward to the rest of the Misa extra, the Misa route of sickness. So I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace.